Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild and Wingless. Tonight I've got with myself the driver of the V97, Blake Walsh. Is it 97? What are you driving this week?
Driving the 97 this weekend.
97. All right, sweet. So, Blake Walsh, thank you very much for coming to the show tonight. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, mate. Thanks for having me on.
No worries, no worries. I know you're a very busy man because you're going to be packing to head back north, but you've been running around there a lot lately. You've been running everywhere. Your name's getting out, but I just wanted to use this as a platform to sort of get everyone a bit of who Blake Walsh is out of the race car and without the helmet, so everyone can see your beautiful moustache you got going there. Give us a
Lovely,
quick.
isn't it?
It's good. I wish I could grow one. Give us a brief racing history of how you got into the sport to where you are today.
Yeah, so pretty much I was born into the sport. My granddad and then dad raced before me and Carly. So yeah, it was pretty much a given that we'd be getting into some form of motorsport when we were growing up. So yeah, we started in asphalt karts at 7, and then I didn't really like that because it was asphalt. So I waited a bit and we got a junior sedan when I was about 12 years old. I raced that for about a year. Didn't like that because it was a sedan. And then yeah, we Carly had a wingless at the time. I was about 13, so she raced that, and then in the off season we'd take it to Ballarat and I'd drive it and have a bit of fun and carry on, and then have to wait out the whole next 3 years. So yeah, and by the time I turned 16, we had a car built ready to go. I turned 16 late May, and then yeah, most meetings got washed out of that year. We went to Horsham on the June long weekend and had a bit of a run there. We started off the back the first night and missed the A by one. And then the second night, I think we got put in the draw. We started in the front row of our first heat race. We won that. And then we started at the back of the next one. And I think we got to fourth or fifth. And that was good enough to lock us in to start fourth in the A. And then rolled out for the four wide and got rained out. So, yeah, sort of season was cut short that way. And then me and Dad got to talking. And then one day we just packed everything up, went to Darwin. Matty Belcom helped us out a lot. He had a B double going up with uh, Alex Ross and himself as well. So we got the opportunity to put our car and that on there, and they towed it up for us. Me and Dad flew in, flew out. We raced, sucked the first night. Track was slick, bank. Didn't know what I was doing. Just putting around at the back, I suppose. And then as the next 2 weekends went on, we got better and better, and ended up with a podium on the final night, fourth overall for the 2 weekends. So yeah, that was good. Come back, podiumed at opening night at the bridge. We ran pretty good throughout the season down here. It was just sort of it was a tough gig because sort of you got all your fast cars coming out around January and that here, and it was just sort of good for me to learn. And we put a new car together halfway through that year because I got too tall for the old one, and then yeah, it sort of just carried on from there, and we raced as much as we could.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I find it interesting. So you actually start off in bitumen carts and went, yeah, nah, that's not doing me no justice. And so you
Nah, that
poor
was
Freddie had to
bad.
go get a sedan for you, a little junior sedan. You're like, nah, still not good enough for me. But yeah, at least he stuck to his guns. Most dads would have said no, but geez, what a rocket you've turned out to be! Like you're just absolutely incredible now. Um, so you sort of touched on it, but like your rookie season, adapting from a little bit of tar carts, you drove the sedan to then sort of, as you said, driving the car sort of every now and then down at Ballarat, to then getting in for your full your full rookie season you had. How much of an eye opener was it for you? Did you jump in and sent like it was what we all thought it was, sort of taking it up like a duck to water sort of deal, or did you have a lot to sort of take in and learn?
I had a lot to learn, that's for sure, but I sort of had an understanding on how the cars reacted and felt because I did all them practice days in Carly's car when I was younger. But it was sort of going from racing yourself to being around other cars and sort of having to learn where your front wheels are and how close you can get to people, and yeah, just all that aspect of stuff, and just how other people race around you too was a big thing for me to learn. Because
Yep.
when I did juniors and that, it was sort of just single file, everyone run the bottom, run into each other and carry on, and you can't do that wingless.
No, no, you can't. You definitely can't. It goes one way if you do that in wingless, and it's not good.
Pretty
Um,
much, yeah.
so okay, so after that, well, actually, two pretty good accolades you've received was driver's driver, not once but twice, which is I think a pretty cool feat. I'm a big fan of driver's driver as well as rookie of the years. So tell us about the driver's drivers each occasion, like to get them. How did you feel you went that season? And yeah,
Yeah, so I got my first driver's driver the season before last, and it was sort of my first breakout year. It's sort of where I come on to the scene a bit stronger and had a bit more speed about me and was driving a lot smarter. And I think the people around me sort of realised that, and that's how I ended up with that award. And then this year it was pretty cool to go back to back with that award, just to know that you've got mutual respect for your peers that you race with week in, week out, and I sort of respect them as much as they respect me.
Yeah, right. And then your second one?
Yeah, so that was season just been, and yeah, it was cool. We raced, and I try to race everyone pretty cleanly because I don't like tearing gear up. It's no fun. It's no fun for me. It's no fun for mum and dad because they got to pay for it.
Yep.
So yeah, I try to run as clean as I can. Obviously, mistakes happen, and I think people realize that you don't intend to go out there and run into everyone, and stuff happens. But no, it was pretty cool to be voted by your peers 2 years in a row to say that you're the driver's driver. I think that was pretty cool.
So, can I ask you a question? So, once you won it the first time, did you think in your head you're going to be coming up for it a second time? Like, I mean, I sort of haven't heard of
Nah,
people getting it consecutively. So to sort of, and it's a thing that's voted on, isn't it? So it's not like
yeah, it's
it's not like the president or secretary or anything like that get to work together on the night before presentation. I go, oh, what do we do with this one? It's sort of a predetermined thing. Um,
so yeah, they send an email out to all the registered drivers in the state, and they sort of vote on it that way. I mean, I didn't really expect it the first year I got it. It sort of come as a surprise, and I wasn't even at the awards night to accept it. I was up
really?
racing in Darwin. Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
was
all
up
right.
racing in Darwin,
That's
and
all right. We'll let him off racing in Darwin, but jeez.
yeah, Carly gave me a ring. She's like, "You just won driver's driver," and I'm sitting on the grid rolling out to go to the A main. So it didn't really sit in till I got back, and we won that night. So it was sort of just everything was coming from every angle. I didn't really get the time to sit down and go, "Yeah, that was cool."
Yeah, right.
It was a bit better this year that we were there to accept the award and to thank everyone for making it possible.
Yeah, nice, nice. Another thing you've achieved this last season, wasn't it? The SummerSlam champion.
Yeah,
Yep. So
it was.
I think I see the lovely present, or not present, sorry, the trophy behind. Man, that is awesome. Give us a look at that thing. So here's the yeah, look at that. SummerSlam champion. Look at that, 24. So you got it. Everyone was vibing for it. How many KFCs have you walked in with that thing on telling the people's champs there? No one? Ah,
No,
you
not
got
at
to get
all.
into that, man. So tell me about the
Yeah.
SummerSlam. How did that go for you? Obviously you won, but how was your over the course of the nights? How was it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. We'd had a pretty good start of the year rolling into SummerSlam, so we sort of got to just before Mount Gambier, and me and Dad sort of sat down and thought, rightio, there's going to be 60 of the best cars here this weekend. It's a good chance to judge our speed for the rest of the year to see where we're sitting and what we can improve on. And then rolled out, and we were pretty good in the heat races. I think we got like 2 seconds or something, and it put us on the front row. And I got to race with a good mate of mine, Brad Warren, for the feature that night, and it was really cool. Track was slick to the fence. It was really uncharacteristic for Mount Gambier to be like that. So I think everyone was sort of guessing going in there, and it built up a pretty big ledge against the fence. So it give you something to lean on. It provided for good slide jobs, and lap traffic made that night interesting. And I think Brad had me covered, but he just made the wrong move in traffic, which allowed me to get by. And
Yeah,
track
right.
position was key once you got to traffic.
Yep.
And then yeah, so we won that night, and then we rolled on to Simpson the next night. I was really confident rolling into Simpson because I'd been fast there before, and it's sort of home track. Done as many laps around there as I have anywhere else. So yeah, we first heat was shocking. We started at the back and just couldn't go anywhere. We just got lucky that there was some crashes and DNFs and got a few spots that way. And then the next heat we started front row. They did track work and it was up against the fence, so we took off, won that one. And I think it was good enough to start a sixth in the A, so we were pretty happy just to be there after the start of the night. And then the cushion was really thin because we had the speed cars on that night and they loved to get up there and pound it and sort of knock it away on us.
Yep.
So yeah, I think the front four guys they went to the top and I just stayed committed on the bottom, sort of waited for them. They got away from me at the start. I sort of just held my ground and waited for them to come back to me, and then made my moves in lap traffic, and then yeah, that's how that one fell into my hands.
Yeah, nice, nice. And then the last round was rain out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was rained out.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 rounds and you end up with the belt, the champion. Are you going to go back and defend that championship this season?
Yeah, I'll give it a crack. It's pretty close to home, so we'd be silly not to, I think.
Nice, nice. Another series that you were very successful in as well was the Super Series. You picked up the win in
Yeah,
the
no,
Super Series as well.
yeah, that was good. We were fairly consistent throughout the whole thing. We didn't
Yep.
have a lot of cars contest a few of the rounds just because they were a bit further away, but we won 3 out of the 4, I think, so we were pretty good. And then the only one we struggled at was sort of Simpson. We started
Oh,
10th and got to third that night. Just just struggled. I don't know why. I think it
wow.
was just early in the year, sort of still getting my eye back into it a bit, racing with the locals.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was good. Super happy to win that one. It was sort of something I looked at the start of the year and said to Dad that I wanted to focus on this and go try and run well at this since he's done it all before. He won it back in his day, so it was sort of cool to sit back and think, yeah, I've won that, and so's Dad, just
Yep.
type of thing.
Yeah, that would be a cool achievement to go back
Yeah,
and. Was your trophy bigger than Freddie's by any chance at the end?
definitely.
Nice, nice. Something as well you achieved, which I think was a pretty good one. I think it's very good actually. Yeah, you often go to Darwin, and the year that you ran the chariots, and you had a bit of a bad run throughout that course of the night, they put you into the C main, but you dug yourself out of the C into the B, dug yourself out of the B. I won't tell the story. Please let us know what happened there on that night.
Yeah, so pretty much Chariots changed the format up on us that night. So normally we were doing qualify one heat race type deal, like an outlaw format,
Yep.
and it wasn't working. They'd sort of send us out before the sprint cars and let us work the track in, but class that as qualifying. So it was sort of a unfair advantage to the guys that went out early compared to late. So for the final night, they changed that and they just give us 2 heat races because they were sort of sick of us whinging. And uh, I won the first heat race, so we were looking pretty good. And then by the time our second heat rolled around, the track was up on the fence, big old curb, just the way I like it. And
Yep.
I was following, I think it was like Jason Davies or someone like that, and they sort of plugged it into the curb and made it all choppy, and it launched a rock back and turned the fuel tap off on the car.
Was
So
that
we
it?
DNF'd that heat race. Yeah.
I remember watching that. I didn't understand what happened. Okay, wow. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, then that put us pretty buried in the sea. I was kind of dejected because we'd been so fast, and I'm like, oh well, night's sort of done now because I just worked the track and it's going to be heavy, can't pass. But boy, was I wrong. So yeah, I think we started outside pole of the sea. We won that. Then started 22nd in the B and got to third pretty early, and then sort of just rolled around for the rest of it, trying to maintain and not lose our spot.
Hmm.
And then yeah, once we got locked into the A, it was sort of right now it's go time now. Track's wide again, up on the fence, and they sort of just worked it off the corners so you could hammer it in and sort of just wait until you get to the exit and catch a grip and go. So yeah, we didn't get rolling real nice at the start of the race. We sort of just bummed around at the back and let everything settle down. And once they sort of got single fold out, you could sort of make some moves that way.
Yep.
And I think I got to sixth, and then Mitchell Broom and Chris Temby got together leading, so that knocked them to the back. And I think there was about 5 or 6 laps to go. And I'm looking at the cars in front of me, going, "Yeah, rightio, this could be possible to win this." So just on the restart, Hail Marys, trying to get by the guy in third, and whatever I threw at him, he crossed me. I'd get to the exit of the corner, I'd look back left, and there he is, just driving on by. I'm like, oh, well. So yeah, that sort of went on for the rest of the race, and I think we missed the podium by about that much. And then yeah, no, we were still super happy with how we dug ourselves out of that hole.
Yeah. No, I think you did a great job. Was that the same year that the infamous year that you and your dad had a clash? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that was about 2 weeks before.
many people have asked me. They said, "Oh, look, make sure if you do catch up with Blake, ask him what happened there." I thought, "Oh, okay." So tell us a rundown. What happened in your eyes?
Yeah, so we were running good that night. It was the NT title. It was a lot of the big guys were up because we were going to run chariots the next week. So yet again, it was another good time to judge our speed against some of the guys from back home because they'd only been racing against the locals a few weeks beforehand. And I was just driving along, having a good old time, racing my own race. And I got to lap traffic, and I knew it was sort of going to be an upset because they were on the top as well. So you're going to have to slide them and get them out of the way and keep going because I had Broomy behind me, and he's no slouch.
Yep.
So I got past a few of the lappers, and then I seen up the road, Dad was mingling with one of the guys back home, Thomas. They're throwing sliders, and Freddie was going all right for an old guy, I suppose. And I got to the back of him getting into turn one and sort of threw a shallow slider on him to let him know, hey, I'm here.
Yep.
Just let us go type deal. Like got up to the side of him and said, here we am. And then next, waited a lap, got to turn three and I had a run and I blew it in for a slider. And I was pretty much probably right on the concrete when I got up to the wall. So I'm like, yep, I've cleared him. And then whack,
Yeah.
something's driven up over the back of me. And I look to like the right and here I see Freddie pitch between me and the fence. I'm like, oh, all right then. And then, yeah, so that knocked his front end out and sort of ruined his race. And I'm thinking, oh, well, we'll see how the chief steward thinks of this. And then we did about two more laps under yellow. And they're like, right, NT11 to the back. Damn it. So, yeah, I think there was about 12 laps to go at that time, and we restarted 15th. And then, yeah, we plucked him off one by one and got back to second.
Yeah. I don't know if you plucked them off one by one. I think it was a more so you plucked them off like sometimes 3, 4 in one. Like that drive heading back was just absolutely incredible, man. Like I really enjoyed watching that race. I mean, not what happened with you and Freddie, obviously, but just
Yeah.
afterwards, man. Like you're just giving it everything. Like, and hats off. That's what you expect from a driver. You were just giving it everything, and the fact you didn't create any more dramas with anyone else, like that was good. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
oh, dude, imagine if you won that.
That would have been cool.
Anyway, but look, hey, we're going to roll into in a couple of nights' time. Well, by the time this gets online, there you'll be racing at Northline Speedway there for the Northern Territory title. So best of luck to you there with how you go. You've been having a pretty good season up there so far to date. Yeah, like would you say that's right now? What's their season? Is their season into the 24-25 or is that the end of the 23-24? I don't know how they work. No offense to the people in Northern Territory,
It's kind of weird because it's technically their 23-24 season,
right.
but it's sort of our 24-25 because we're under new logbook and registration and everything.
Yeah.
So it's that season.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'm taking it as this season. I don't know
Yeah,
how they're going to
absolutely.
take it, but it's my start of the season pretty much.
How do you feel rolling in for this weekend for the title? Are you feeling confident with what you've had up there lately?
Yeah, really good. We tried a few things on our package last weekend, just trying to fine tune our slick setup stuff for back here. So it's I'm confident. Dad gets me dialed in every night.
Yeah.
Mum keeps the car looking good.
Speaking of which, about getting dialed in every night, I've got my pen and paper here. So you guys were going to tell me your setup on how to get. No, kidding. He's not telling me nothing
It's
anymore.
not it's
Not
not it's
telling me
nothing
nothing.
special. I can tell you that much.
Oh, come now. The way that car has that drive off the corners, I'm just sitting here thinking, man, we're going to be in trouble shortly. What I mean by that is come WoW series when we verse you for 5 rounds across the east coast of Australia. You got nominated or you got announced. Sorry, a few days ago. You're one of the first ones. A few days ago, you got announced as a WoW series contracted driver. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. A lot of them tracks I've been to before. There's only the 2 out of the 5 that I haven't. So like I haven't been to Eastern Creek or I've been to Mildura, but I've never been in a wingless. I've always just done wing stuff around there. So
That
I
amazes me.
think I'm looking forward to it.
I'm shocked that like what is Mildura for you? What 5 hours,
Yeah, about
give or
that.
take, and you've never
Yeah,
been there in a wingless.
no.
Wow. Anyway, well, you're gonna love it. Um, they've finished announcing the to 20 drivers, and there's a few drivers who weren't named, and for whatever reason, not everyone was picked or unselected or whatever, based on many things. People have work or life or other things
Yeah.
to do. But the 20 drivers in at the moment that's stacked. That's a stout field.
Yeah, it's a really good list. I think it's going to make for some great racing, and then you go and throw your 2015 locals from each state in. It's going to be a hard series to race and win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, to win. I was thinking about it the other night, and I think I've made a comment about it. But man, if you can get someone who can literally go like win multiple events, mate, hats off to them because we're not like sprint cars. We're not like speed cars. So sprint cars is dependent on your pay, on your size of your wallet to where you're going to be situated based on your package. Speed car is very similar. Wingless is, I'm still going to say, man, you're not out there destroying people because you've got a gun motor or anything like that.
Yeah.
You guys have got this ability to get all four wheels to rotate as cleanly as possible without binding up or anything. You guys have got a really good suspension package. You got really good the intel between you and Freddie is phenomenal, and that's why you guys are fast. Like, don't get me wrong, you got a good reliable motor too, but it's not
Yeah.
all about engine like it is with a wing car or something. But
No, exactly.
I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I just don't see us. Do you reckon you're going to get someone who wins multiple rounds? I mean, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be you. Let's be honest. Like,
I'm gonna give it a crack, that's for sure. But I think it just comes down to who's the better driver on the night, really. Who's the smartest? Who's got their stuff dialed in correctly? Yeah, it's a whole different ball game to your speed cars and wing stuff because a lot of that's money. And
yeah.
don't get me wrong, wingless is sort of getting that way. Like it's getting pretty expensive now to run up the front competitively. But the
Well,
best driver on the night's gonna win it.
yeah, you're spot on, right? I mean, it comes down to obviously your draws and all the rest, but once we start throwing tyres at it, everyone's got their shocks, some oil, some gas, some, whatever they got. But look, it's to me, someone asked me the other day, who do I think's going to win? And I'm not going to lie, you're definitely in the top three. But yeah, I just don't see anyone just being super duper miles in front than anyone else, which I think is probably a good thing in this sport. Like, we don't have that, you know what I mean? But in saying
It's
that,
it's very it's very even spread out across the drivers.
all
Like
right.
I won a lot of races this year, but
I was
it's
going
not
to
as if
say he's
I
very
checked out.
modest saying this because you
It's
work.
not as if I checked out and won them by 10 seconds every night. I think there was 2 nights there. I beat Hobson by like under a tenth.
Hang on, how
Yeah,
many times
it's
did you
tight
beat
race.
Hobson? How many times did you beat Hobson?
I don't know. Probably all of them. I think.
I'm just saying that right there is a feat in itself, right? You got the
Yeah,
ex
he's
Australian
good.
champ.
He's
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 really
really good.
good, but you're just like, mate. No one else was named the USC. Sorry, Claverview. Sorry, not USC. Claverview's most winningest driver in wingless, like 15 wins. Incredible.
Yeah.
Who's the next person?
One of my mates from WA, Blake Iowa now, he's a gasser.
He's a gas, but he's over there and he does really well over there. I
He
have seen his
does.
name come up a fair bit. But I mean, do they, and I'm not knocking them, but do they have that same sort of deal what we got over here with the amount of drivers? Like, you are racing nightly at your club shows almost. You're racing like Todd Hobson, for crying out loud. Chris Temby. Like,
Yeah. I'd say they have what we have to an extent. Like
yeah,
obviously they've got really fast cars. Like we had a fella come to Darwin last year from WA, Darren Humphreys, and he's really quick. So yeah, but I mean, you could nearly take them two boys, Blake and Matt, anywhere in the country, and they'd be fast.
they'll be fast. Yeah.
They're really fast.
Well, if you're saying they're fast, they've got to be fast. So, well, I still reckon you're definitely going to be inside the top three. You wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if you actually do win it. Because yeah, just the stats you've racked up in the last two seasons are just incredible, like just phenomenal. Um, I want to talk about you and what have I seen you drive? The NT11 and
NT11,
an
NT6,
NT6.
NT10.
And I haven't seen the NT10. All right, so
Yeah.
Ray Wallace, yeah,
Yep.
Ray Wallace. So tell me the story about how Ray Wallace ran into, not literally ran into, but or Blake Walsh and Ray Wallace, how your paths came across. Let's tell us how that happened.
So pretty much when I was first starting out racing wingless, I got the opportunity to drive the Murdy brothers car from Darwin. They're
Mm-hmm.
a nice family. They were nice enough to come and let me drive their car and stay with them for a while over COVID just to keep me in the seat and keep me racing. So yeah, I went racing with them weekly up in Darwin, and Ray was just a crew guy back then for them. He was pretty smart at what he did, and then we sort of got to talking. He was sort of tied up with his job and couldn't go racing, and had to wait until he was signed off from his workforce to do so. And then we come back from Darwin. Me and Dad went halves in the car for him to go race because he was keen to come back racing and did all that. And he raced it a few times, bent it a lot, crashed. Then we fixed it, and Ray sent us a message one day out of the blue that he wanted to buy a car, and we said, "Oh, we have Dad's there for sale. We'll sell that." And he's like, "Oh, well, I need a trailer too." So we sold him our trailer, and sort of we we took it up from him from here to up there for him, and we got up there, and he's like, "Well, do you want to race it?" I'm like, "I'm not going to say no." So we went racing, and that's sort of how the story went for that. And we had a pretty good debut for him up in Darwin, got a few wins and whatnot, and sort of put him on the map as a car owner, and then he did a bit of racing himself once I come back here to focus on my stuff back home. And then once he was sort of done racing up there and signed off from work and retired, so he moved down here. He lived with us for a bit, just raced weekends with us in that car.
Hmm.
And then one day, me and him sort of just up and went to McFadden's, bought a truck and a KRE and went sprint car racing. So yeah, I'm very very grateful for having him in my life and what he's done for me over the last 2.5 years for my racing.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's a great guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him in Dubbo. He came over. I can't remember. No, I don't think we had any fire barrels or something. I don't remember. Anyway, we're sitting around after one of the nights having a chat, and he came over. He's a real nice guy, real friendly. But yeah, like the whole. I'm sure some people know the story about him, but a lot of people don't. But if you do see Ray out there, mate, give him a nod, give him a hello. He's a nice guy, very friendly. Always up for a chat. I did take that from him. He's a nice guy, and I think he's someone we need in the sport. Like I actually, I know you've been driving his cars and stuff, but I've actually enjoyed watching him too, because I didn't know who
Yeah,
he was until obviously I saw the connection with you guys. So whenever I'm watching racing, you sort of keep an eye on the people, and
yeah.
yeah, he's been improving, which is fantastic to see. And I mean, if he's got Freddie in his corner, jeez,
Yeah,
I think we'd all want Freddie in
nah,
our corner.
definitely. All he wants to do is go racing, and he was sort of denied that for the last 25 years with his employment role. Sort of couldn't do that. So as soon as he was signed off, and they said, "Right, go do what you want. We don't really care anymore."
Yeah,
He bought race cars and went racing.
hell
That's
yeah.
all he's wanted to do since he was a young kid.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad. Yeah. So with working with him, you guys obviously. Well, no, you took your V97 back to Darwin, like
Yeah,
currently,
yeah,
and then you just flying backwards and forwards to do the shows. Now,
yeah,
I got a phone call today from someone who told me that apparently, and I'm probably going to get shot saying this, uh, that they've put the word out to Wingless about joining for the Chariots. Um,
yeah. No, that's correct.
Yep. Now I'm hoping it comes off. I'm hearing like only 14 cars or something like that. That the numbers are low, but they've
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. Um, Now they haven't named cars yet, have they?
Uh,
Or have they? At the
they
time I got
have.
told. Oh, they have. All right. Well,
Yeah, but
I'm hoping the
I don't
V97's
know
in
if I'm
there.
allowed to say who
All
they
right.
are.
Let's not say it. Okay.
I'll just say I'm not one of them.
You're not
Not at this
really.
current time, no.
Well, you know what that means, don't you? You got to go up there this weekend, work really hard, and get that NT1. Actually, did
Yeah.
they change the rule about that? About I heard rumors as well that they've changed rules now that if you win a state title, you're not from that state, you can run that one or something like
Yeah. You can, yeah.
that. Okay, you can. So, well, there you go. Go get that one, buddy.
Yeah.
So okay, with that track up there, I'm just going to be asking some questions here because I sort of watched that, and then I've watched races from like Simpson and Warrnambool and all sort of stuff. Borderline Speedway to me looks like a very wide, fast track. Doesn't look
Yeah.
like you really be on the brakes that much. Maybe to set up for but that's very limited. A lot of throttle control on a slick track. Um, when you come back to Victoria and drive on some of these like tighter tracks and stuff like that, like Simpson and stuff, are you taking anything from one to another, or is it just that's how that track is? We're set up for that. This is how this track is. We're just set up for this.
Not necessarily. We sort of run the same setup everywhere we go and then sort of fine tune it off that. And I think I'm just able to adapt to the different type of racetracks and surfaces that we race on because we race on so many frequently that
Yep.
I'm able to just like radio. That track does that. This track does different. Don't try and do that here and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, okay. No, I was just curious. A race that I saw you actually got a chance because I actually haven't seen you live much. Just our paths
Yeah,
haven't really crossed that much, but I do see your results come up. Was the Australian titles at Lismore? Um, you had a very eventful Australian title, I think,
I
when
did. Yeah.
when you look at everything as a whole. Um, how was that event for you? So just tell me the story through Blake Walsh's eyes, like what happened that weekend.
I had a little bit of confidence rolling into it because we'd been so good everywhere we went. Like we went to Dubbo and raced well with Jolly. I knew it's going to be hard to beat him in his own backyard. Like he's done so many laps around there. It's not funny. But yeah, I took one look at the joint and I thought, gee, this is different. This is really different to anything I've seen before. And then we went out for for hot laps, that practice session before the night, and it went rubber down pretty
Yep.
much. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, we've done 4 laps and burnt 4 tyres off pretty much. So yeah, then they did the rework and it was a bit better. They sort of give us a little bit of a hot lap before the heat race, and I felt good. And I was coming off the back of that heat race, just the way the pills fell, and I got moving, got by a few of the fast locals, and I got up to I think it was third or something, and it was one of the local Queensland cars, and then Chris, my brother-in-law, in second, and they were sort of dicing. He went high, so I went low to try and get under him to sort of pickpocket him out of the way. And when he did that, the leader sort of stumbled off a two. We both just ran into each other trying to avoid that and ended up upside down.
That was incredible to see. I remember watching that. I don't know where I would have been situated because I don't know where turn 1 to turn 4 is at that
Yeah.
place, but I was in the grandstands and I watched. I was like, did I just see what I thought I saw? And then they got you back on all fours. You flicked the switch and you went going again, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I know how crucial it is not to drop heat races when you're racing against a big car count. So I
Yep.
do. Chris's thing was pretty tore up, and I said to him because we were good, we knew it was an accident, didn't mean it. And I said to him, "How bent is this thing?" He said, "It's fine. The only thing that was bent was sort of the nerve bar was pushed down into the track." So I'm like, "Righty, I'm going to keep going." And
Yeah.
then yeah, we managed to finish fifth in that heat race, and that sort of dug us out of a little hole. Like we still went forward in that heat, so it didn't upset us a hell of a lot. And then yeah, we knew we had to start digging in the next few heat races to sort of set ourselves up well to make the invert the second night.
Yep.
I think we went 13th to 9th in the prelim, so that sort of gave us a few more points. And then yeah, the heat race on the second night we struggled because it was really slick, and I don't know why we were struggling so bad. Normally we're not too bad when it's slick and there's a bit of a cushion to lean on, and sort of just um went defensive pretty much. Once Jolly got by me and I got the third, sort of just started defending from cars behind me, and yeah, managed to finish third, and then just started 11th in the A and sort of just rolled around, picked a few cars off, and ran seventh, which I'm extremely happy with.
Yeah, absolutely. If I think when I saw that car upside down, if you told me that car's going to finish inside the top 10, I no. But mate, hats off to you. Like you did not give up. Um, there was like just everything from your pit area, even like everything was just cool, calm. Everyone had a job to do. You got on, got the job done. Focus on in the end game, and I thought it was great. I actually do like watching how a lot of teams work as well, because you see these guys with their all the wins they achieve, like yourself, and trophies and all that sort of stuff, and you think, like how are they doing that? But when you see how they work, like how you guys operate, you guys set yourselves up. Your pre-race sort of work that you guys do on the cast, when you guys get there, to when it's great to see. It's probably if people thought what Wingless was when it first started, no. You guys are like very professional at how you operate, and a lot of the Wingless teams now are like that, and that's why you guys are so good.
Yeah.
So, what happened at Archerfield the year before the Australian title there?
It's sort of the same deal, really. We started at the back of our heat race and we were rolling good. We got moving. We were passing I think it was Brock Argus for the lead or something, and like in typical Archerfield fashion, she was pretty juiced up for
Yep.
the first heat race, and I was going around Brock. I sort of got in the back of him off a two and upset him a little bit, which allowed me to get a run going into three. And I'd sort of just peeled my nose in front of his right front. And he got left front in the grease, and it sort of just pushed him up into me and got under my left rear and unloaded me in a big way. And then that sort of ended that whole weekend and my season pretty much because the car was pretty tore up.
Yeah, right. Was there much racing after that?
Uh, I come back home and
Oh, okay. Probably don't know.
there was
Yeah,
a fella from back home that sort of said, "Rightio, here's my car. I want you to tell me what it's like." So we went and raced out a bit,
that's
and
not
then
a
that
bad
sort of
deal.
just fueled out the back half of the seat. Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal. All right. So, what's your career highlight that you've achieved so far?
Um, SummerSlam was really cool. Just being able to go back to back at two different tracks with the same cars, pretty much. Super Series is up there a lot, just for the history behind it with Dad and that. And I think probably at the top of the list is the two drivers in the Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
sort of to just show that people have respect for me in that matter. And then yeah, there's a lot to name, but none of them come close to them three or four that are right at the top.
Yeah, nice. No, one thing I noticed was I think as the years have gone on, you've definitely like honed your skills in to the point where you're becoming a freak. You're sort of not wrecking. There's no bad stigma to your name. Like there's, when you get some people just super fast, but they're just tearing up stuff or tearing people up.
Yeah.
None of that when it comes to you. So hats off to you, man. Like your parents have done well, Freddie's done well, keeping you in line. I reckon your mum probably did too, but you done good.
Yeah, no, she was a big part in that. Yeah.
Yeah, you done, no, I think you done good. I'm excited to see how you're going to go this weekend. I think you're going to go up there and absolutely, dominate, and hopefully they can revise their. Anyone listening from Northern Territory, it'd be good to let him in. But what's your favourite track?
It's got to be Simpson, just for the way that it races. It's pretty much two different tracks at both ends. Like you got one track that's banked at Warrnambool one end, and then you funnel it into Lake Liddell on the next end, and you sort of got to figure out how to do that fast and efficiently and without washing off too much speed. And then you got to throw 24 other cars into the ring, race around them as well. So that's good.
Is that a 24 car track limit?
Yeah.
Gee, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did not know that. Yeah, there you go. Bring on WoW series.
Pretty much, yeah.
There we go. One question that I've started asking some people is, I feel we've lost some things along the way. Well, I know here in New South Wales anyway. So when you've gone and done some pretty good wins, especially like, for example, I remember watching just the other night, you won up in Darwin, and before you even got out of the car, I'm pretty sure, Freddie's there on the left rear, like, man, he was happy as a pig, like he was loving it. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, and then I saw like your mum, forgive me, I can't remember if I saw your sister there or not, but
yeah, she was there.
Oh, she was there. Sorry, baby, yeah, she had a baby, was it? Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's right. But just seeing the whole family around the car on the podium, I guess, whatever you want to call it. I'm lost for words. I talk all the time, and here I am out of words. But when you get up there on the winner's stand, come on, help me, please, Blake. Jeez, what am I talking about?
I'll just call it a podium.
There you go, podium. Blake said it, not me.
Yeah.
He wins 15 times. He can say what he wants. When you're up there on the podium, and not only do you get your trophy and all the rest, but you got your family there with you. I think that is so much more rewarding than a trophy. Not saying I don't care about trophies, but do you think that's the same? Like, how are you with that sort of stuff? Do you rather have your family there to get that moment?
I think it's probably more rewarding than having a trophy, is having that photo to look back on with your family, and they're just as pumped up as you are, because they put a lot of their life into this as well as I do. Like, it's pretty much all we think about. We eat, sleep, drink it, eat it, whatever it is, we do it. Like,
yep.
And without them, I wouldn't be in this situation. I'd probably be just sitting at home doing nothing. So I owe a lot to them, and to see them sort of celebrate with me in the time of a win, or even when we lose, they're still just as happy because they've had fun doing it. They've made great friends, and I got to do what I love.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was that photo. Not only did you send me, but I saw it on socials, and was it the one where you won the belt?
Yeah.
That captured everything, if you ask me. You had your whole family with you. You've gone and you guys have towed your car around the place to go race. And when you're on the road like that, backing it up, like sometimes you have to make some calls on your race car. Like, yeah, I know we're meant to stick to a rule that's, cars are race ready and all the rest, but sometimes shit happens on the road that you sort of got to time up with wire just to get through to the next one. And you sort of just keep your mouth shut, let the car race. And it's not that you're running anything illegal, but it's just you simply don't have the time to get either a new part in there or something like that. You just got to make do with what you got. And to me, when I saw that photo, whoever took that photo, man, they captured that moment.
That was Aidan Freeman. He's a really good photographer from back here. He takes really good photos, and that night was pretty special because I just pulled onto the podium and like sort of undid my belts, and I looked up and I think Dad was trying to get in the car with me. He was pumped up.
Oh, that is so good. No, your old man. He's when I think back of what I think Wingless is, he probably hits it on the head every angle. And
he started the class back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Brian Trigg, Mark Balcom, and himself, they started up NOS Sprints back in the
so
day
before
they turned into Wingless. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So he loves it.
There you go.
His whole life has revolved around Wingless racing.
Yeah, no, because I've stood behind your parents at Dubbo there, when you were racing up here for the state title and also the following night. And just, it didn't matter who walked past him. If they were a wingless guy, he acknowledged them, asked them how their night is. And I thought, man, that's a pretty cool, if you ask me. Like, he goes out of his way to do that.
He's pretty well respected within the ranks of Speedway, I think. Like, I don't think there's many people that could say a bad word about him, which I think is pretty cool to know that he's done so much with his time and his career and sort of put it to good use.
Yeah, and it's rubbed off onto you. You could have gone, oh man, you could have gone two ways, eh? Jeez.
Yeah.
And I think you're going the right way. You're picking up them wins. So this season's just started for you. Is it 2 wins already?
Yeah.
2 wins already. Two wins. No one's else has turned a wheel, and you've already got 2 wins on it. So, if anyone wants to try and get the Clayview most winners, winningest driver in wingless, he's already got 2 on you. So good luck. All right, man. Look, I appreciate your time tonight. I always try and I like the hat. Good deal with the hat.
Yep. Hat in it. I got the shirt on.
Oh, you got the shirt. Look at that. That's double deal.
Yeah.
That's double deal. Is. That's extra winner right there. I want you to give a shout out to all the people that help you and your team, your family, so you guys can keep your car on the road and get up the highway to all the tracks.
Yeah. I'd like to throw a shout out to Chem Blast, our sponsor. They've been with us now 30 years. So it's pretty cool to have them stay with us so long through our dad's career and my career, and hopefully for the whole career that I've got. Mum and dad, especially, for everything they've done for me. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Same goes for Ray. I think without him, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I'd just still be probably sitting at home doing nothing. And then like Mark Benton Farm Machinery, Yarra Valley Towing, Brat Engineering, Top Line Titanium, Casey Area and Co, LPS Logical Services, and just everyone else that helps me get up and down the road week in, week out, doing what I love. I appreciate them all greatly.
Yeah, no, well done, and also, yeah, that's incredible. 30 years, man, that's a good partnership. That's great. Well, hopefully, everyone who watching this episode, if you learn something new about Blake, one thing I pick up from Blake is man, the kid's got a level head. He's real easy to talk to, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing you guys on the road to catch up with you guys after racing, have a beer with you guys, and have a chat. So we're going to try and get some sort of races lounge happening throughout the whole WoW series. So I'll probably come up at the end of the night and strap a microphone to you, and we'll see what comes out of your mouth then. But no, man, thanks very much. Say hello to your family for me. Everyone else, thanks very much for tuning in to this episode, and we look forward to the next one. Till then, good luck to Blake at the Northern Territory titles. Go get a win, and we'll see you guys next time.